The Jets thing is a fun side thing. It's been with me for so long, since I was in grade school. I'm so grateful that that happened to me. Me, for myself, I invented that little dream because it's been like so fun. Like, I really wish people understood my journey to buy the Jets. And I've been saying it more clearly lately, so some people are starting to understand. It's just fun trying. You know? I love the pain. You know, a really nice kid asked me just backstage about, or like at the VIP thing about, I want to be an entrepreneur. And I said, you got to get really, really, really used to losing. You got to get real comfortable with losing. Most people's limitation on their earning capacity is completely predicated on their stomach for losing. People are so insecure that they worry about other people's opinions about their winning and losing that they stop in a very soft zone and they don't push themselves. I don't care what the people in the crowd are saying about what I'm doing on the field. I'm on the field. If I lose, if a division doesn't work, if an investment doesn't work out, if my companies have a bad year, I'm not super worried about what you guys think. You're eating popcorn watching me do it. Right? So that's how we should all think. Your mom is eating popcorn watching you do it. Your husband is eating popcorn watching you do it. Your kids are eating popcorn watching you do it. And then Anonymous Rick in the comments is definitely eating popcorn watching you. So I struggle and so want to positively shake people. I'm like, you're not doing certain thing because one person's leaving negative comments. That's insane. Do you know how sad someone's life is if they actually decide to watch your content and leave a negative comment? You shouldn't be sad for you, you should be sad for them. I'm serious. Every time somebody brings hate towards me, I feel compassion. I'm like, man, thank you, God. If my life was watching someone else and trying to tear them down, that is dark. All the time. I DM them like, I'm sorry you're not good. Is there anything I can do for you? And they're like, oh, I'm just kidding. You're the best. And that makes me happy. That makes me even triple down when they say that. Of course. I love compassion. I think it's a fucking hard skill. Everyone's gotten so lazy. Somebody leaves a slightly, not even critical, a slightly not what you wanted comment, and you're like, troll. I'm watching. People leave a follow-up question. People are like, hater. It's not even negative. People are so fucking soft. Everybody's a hater, a troll. You know, of course, if they're saying abusive things, of course. But again, that person's hurting. Think about living your life and being what? You're ugly. That person's hurting. We need a new conversation. We have no compassion. Everyone's just drawing lines in the sand. We have no civility. We have politicians acting worse than the worst people in my high school acted. The fuck is going on out here? Fucking fuck. Seriously. And I see it, that's obviously the world. In business, it's hurting your bottom line. It is hurting your bottom line. It is hurting your bottom line.
Especially now that there's so many options.
Yeah. I'm just fascinated by the confusion, but I know it's grounded in emotional issues. And sometimes people hit me up and they're like, all right, so what do I do about it? I'm like, well, if you can afford it, therapy's a good idea, right? Get it out, work on yourself, fight. You have a life. This is 400 trillion to 1. 400 trillion to 1 is the odds of being a human being. Literally your mom might have just got up for another glass of wine and you wouldn't even exist. Why don't people think about that shit? The miracle of life is fucking insane to the nanosecond. And so people are just interesting. If you're in this room right now, your life is better than you think. That I promise.
Of course. They have you on stage.
It's not that, it's you could even be here.
Touché.
Like you could be here, right? No, I think people lack gratitude. They just do. People are just worried about what they don't have versus realizing what they have. And I loved when everyone's like, oh, now that COVID hit 2 years ago, oh, now I'm gonna be grateful. Shit, this is really gonna wake me up. Fuck that, everyone's crying about dumb shit again. I was able to 95% of the time successfully figure it out without candor, which is a very high ratio. I just got to the point in my life where the 5% didn't feel good enough anymore. You know, I just kind of like, there was a Facebook group of former employees talking negatively about me, and I was just like, this shouldn't be. I don't care about the money. I love people. Like, this shouldn't be. And I'm like, the only thing I do poorly is I don't give people critical feedback, and it fucks it up. And I'm like, I gotta stop. And I've really worked on myself.
How were you able to do that?
By suffocating myself. By acknowledging it, right? By just, and by doing what I'm doing right now. I'm trapping myself and putting it out in the open. It's why I think everybody should just post their weight on the scale every morning to the world. I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. It really works. It really works. Public accountability is powerful. So that's why I wrote the book.
Wow. What are some of the other ingredients that you feel could be very valuable?
Well, what's interesting about the book is that I decided to frame it, you know, when you sit down and write a book or gather your thoughts, or even like when you think about having a conversation, you're not exactly sure how you're gonna package it if it's big. A quick thing, sure. And ingredients really worked for me because what I realized when I was talking out the book was, oh, I don't use any of these things in a silo. I need like 3 things at once to address this issue. So like, and sometimes it seems very in conflict. For example, patience and conviction at the same time seems weird. Or ambition and patience fucks everyone up. I push patience. How many people here consume my content? Raise your hands. Thank you. If you didn't raise your hand, you hurt my feelings. So for the people that just raised their hand, I talk about patience 24/7. A lot of people DM me, they're like, man, I don't like this patience thing, Gary. Like, what about the hustle? What about like ambition? I'm like, I'm the most. I'm like, do not confuse patience with complacency. Do not confuse patience with being lazy. Patience is being thoughtful. Patience is measuring twice before you cut once. Real estate has a major patience issue because people know the market moves, and so they get erratic when times are good, and sometimes even more erratic when times are bad. Patience matters. People compromise their reputation when they're scared. Patience matters. So the book, you know, tenacity is one of the ingredients. It seems like a hard word, like a tenacity. And then like, you know, having tenacity and conviction, but then also patience and kindness and self-awareness. There's just a lot there, and ingredients worked. I'm like, you know, sweet and sour chicken is weird. It's sweet and sour. But we've all agreed that like we're good with it. And I don't think people are good with tenacity and patience. And so I thought that framework could start to frame up my argument.